I have 3 horses here in Florida for my winter project. 1 2-year-old pacing colt and 2 yearling fillies, a trotter and a pacer. I'll spend the winter conditioning them, teaching them, and training them down at speed in preparation for the spring and summer racing seasons. This winter I'm going to add a narrative for all my friends outside of racing so anyone can follow along on the progress of these colts and get a glimpse into the process of developing a racehorse. Unhinged Impulso is my 2-year-old pacing colt. He's out of the first crop from the Illinois stallion Captain Trevor. He's raced 4 times in his life in 2024, finishing second once. His fastest beaten time was a mile in 1:53 and 4, which is a pretty good mile for a 2-year-old. He came his last half in a very fast 54 and 2. I think he's a really nice horse, and he's got an incredibly competitive attitude. In August, he started showing some soreness, which was diagnosed as a stress fracture of the cannonbone. We caught it pretty early. This injury ended his 2-year-old season, but with a great prognosis for 100% recovery. He has had his 3 months off, as the doctors prescribed, and I've just started jogging him this week. I hope to start training him sometime in January, and I'm aiming at an April return to racing. Tentative planning for that is to start in April at the Meadows Racetrack in Pennsylvania, and then return him to Illinois for his stakes season. My 2 fillies are both yearlings and were broke in September by Jason Wilson. He did an incredible job, and these 2 are basically bulletproof from a behavior perspective. I really recommend Jason if somebody in that area is looking to get their yearlings broke and not do it themselves. The trotting filly, which has the blue cart and the camera, is Unhinged Cadeau, and the pacing filly in the aluminum cart is Unhinged Illini. I bred Cadeau from my mare Shadow Copy, who I raced as a 2-year-old and through her life, and bred her to the Illinois stallion Southwind Chrome. Southwind Chrome is a Chapter 7, was a championship racehorse, and Shadow Copy was out of Cassis, who was a Cantab Hall, which is a really nice breeding line on that side. Now I purchased Illini at the Illini Classic Standardbred sale. She's out of Captain Trevor, just like Unhinged Impulso is. And her dam was a coal muffler, so she has some very old but quality Illinois bloodlines on that side of her family. I have Alan Johnson working for me again this winter, and he's handling Illini this morning. I have to say I've learned a lot from Alan, and I'm really happy to have him helping me. The 2 fillies have been jogging since September, and now are up to 4 miles a day. 3 times a week we job them, playing a little bit of follow the leader to get them used to being in close quarters and passing. And the other 3 days a week they just go out for their 4-mile jog. Today we'll also brush them home a bit in the last 1/8 of a mile, to start showing them some speed, have them learn how to travel at speed. So this was a really good morning. Impulso jogged just fine, showed a lot of aggressiveness, showed that he'd like to get back to work. And the 2 fillies were very good too. Now the fillies today came home the last 1/8 in 22.6 seconds. Now I didn't take a watch, it's a little too early for a watch, but by looking at the video and my timer tools in the video, I could tell that I could calculate this 22.6 seconds would actually be a 3-minute and 1-second mile. And that's right where we want to start. So when they start training in January, we'll start them at that 3-minute mile and then start working them down a couple of seconds each week. It'll be a slow, staged drop from that 3 minutes to about 2:15 by the time I leave Sunshine Meadows next spring. We have hundreds and hundreds of miles to go of work this winter, but this is the first start.